So that's big news. And what I'll do first is kind of share what we're looking over. All right. So we are in week 12. That means we have 6 weeks left. Week 18 is the end of the semester. Think about that. Wow. Pretty soon we'll be in winter break. Pretty soon we'll have Thanksgiving, all that stuff. Here's our weekly lesson plan for this week. Let's click into it and see what we're going to start with today. It says, just to remind you, we're talking about missing assignments or grades. Again, I think I've returned most of your stuff in Google Classroom to you. If you have turned it in, I've returned it to you. If you haven't turned it in yet, of course, I can't return something that you don't turn in. But a lot of the assignments I might have put a comment on. If you finish an assignment that was from before, just try and send me a message. You can send it in Google Hangouts or in Gmail or something so I can see, because I turn off the notifications for Google Classroom because there's just too many notifications. If you guys notice your emails, it's just email after email every day. So I turn those off. So if you complete an assignment, email me and let me know so I can go back and grade it. I'll try and check some of them still, but I might miss it if you don't send me an email to let me know. Okay? And Cheetah, we were just talking about missing assignments or like low scores on assignments even. If you want to redo them, you can redo pretty much any of your assignments. But make sure when you do one, if you do something from like 2 weeks ago or a month ago, just send me an email and say, Mr. T, I did this. That's it. And then I'll go back and check to make sure. Because otherwise, if I go through Google Classroom, I might miss one. If I'm looking through all your assignments, it's not like before where it's easy because you turn in a piece of paper and I can just look at the piece of paper. So please email me if you finish something. Let me know because we want to keep your grades up. Okay, so today we're going to do a little comparison contrast. We're going to write a paragraph comparing and contrasting Native American tribes. And then we're going to be looking a little more in depth at kind of the same thing on our assessment. Again, compare and contrast. We've been saying that all unit. Compare and contrast. Compare and contrast. So we're going to look at primary and secondary sources a little bit, looking at paintings and comparing and contrasting the paintings and trying to figure out what's happening with those, and that'll prepare us for our assessment coming up on Thursday and Friday. Okay, so big assessment, big score coming up this week. We want to make sure we're doing all our work for this week, especially because we're going to practice to get to that assessment on Thursday. You're also going to be writing a couple paragraphs, and you're going to be giving an oral response. So you're going to be recording yourself saying something. Okay? Any questions before we start? Unmute and tell me if you have any questions. Unmute and tell me you don't have a question. Either way, unmute. I want to hear a voice so I know you're there.
I'm good.
Okay, Nali's good. Who else? I got 3 other people.
I'm good.
Okay, 2 other people. What's that?
I don't have a question.
Okay, 1 more person. We're waiting on Yalian. Waiting. We'll play the waiting game. We'll just record this. We have this evidence here we can turn in and...
Yes.
Okay, you understand? Any questions?
No.
Okay. Groven, are you there? See, the beauty is this, we record these lessons, so then when your mom and dad say, hey, what's so-and-so doing in class? We can say, well, here's a recording when we're asking them questions, and there's no response at all. We can always... And there's like evidence there, complete evidence to show. Like in this class, I asked them 5 times to say something, and they didn't say a word. I can't talk for them. So, all right. So let's start with the first one. I'm going to go to this one, number 2, compare and contrast Native American tribes. We're going to kind of work through this together to see what we're going to do. So I'm going to click into this. You have your own version of the slides. I'm going to be filling it out. If you want to open yours, you can. If you want to follow along with mine, you can. But you will need to fill it out. Okay? So it looks something like this. I'm going to fill in mine, and then you guys are your own version on. Okay? So this is our Native American tribes. We had we should have had, I did 2 tribes. Nali, how many tribes did you do, your project?
Just one.
Just
Oh.
one, okay. So that's, we got 3. How about Cheetah? How many tribes did you do?
One.
G just did 1, good. So we have 4. Yalian, how many tribes did you do?
Yes.
How many tribes did you research last week?
I did like a 2 or 3.
I think we did 1, right? I mean, I did a couple, but you each just did 1.
Yeah.
So if I did 2, Nali did 1, Cheetah did 1, you did 1, and Hector should have done 1, and Groven should have done 1. That should give us 7 tribes to look at to compare. Now, we're not going to compare all 7. We're going to pick 1 here and compare them. Okay? So, I have my tribes here. I'm going to show you how to do it with my 2 tribes. So what you will need is going back to last week, the Native American tribe presentations that we did. Now, if you didn't get these, I posted here this WeVideo presentation links. So you should have recorded your video, right? Because some of us didn't present last week. Okay? I posted the videos. This is the video I did, and another video I did, and the video that Nali did. So you can, if you didn't get your worksheet filled in, you can watch those. But we still need these videos submitted by the other people who didn't have them grow, and we still need to choose one. If you need help with that, you got to let us know. But otherwise, we still need your videos submitted where you present your information. That's part of your grade. That's part of your responsibility to our class. Okay? So we have our presentations that we can check out because we need to compare and contrast these tribes. Now, what we will be using to compare and contrast after you watch the other person's video, then we should have this thing filled out. Okay? Each person should have theirs filled out. I took out these. Let's even like take out some of the ones that we're not using to make it easier. Okay? So we had like the Lac de Flambeau. Let's delete this one. The Brotherton Nation was Cheetah. The Forest County Potawatomi was Hector. He chose that. Nali, you chose the Ho-Chunk Nation. Yalin had the Lac de Flambeau. Then I had the Oneida Nation as mine. And the Menominee as well. Let me just delete that row so we can have those. And then Groven, we were waiting. You had not chosen any yet, so we still need to choose one of those and do your research. So what we had done was fill this out from the presentations, hopefully, right? Now we're going to take that information and start to compare 2 tribes. Okay? So let's start to look a little bit. And we'll bring it over to the assignment for today. I'm going to be going back and forth between these 2. So let's say I choose. Now I'm going to do these 2. You guys will do your own. I'm going to choose the Oneida and the Menominee. Okay? So anybody seen a Venn diagram before can tell us what we do with the Venn diagram maybe? Unmute and tell us. Anybody know what goes here or here or here?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, tell me, Nali, what goes on this side?
So that sign is only for the Oneida.
Okay, how about here?
This one is about Oneida and Menominee. You can
Okay.
put them together.
Yeah, the things that are similar, right?
Yeah.
And
that's what is just for the Menominee.
okay. So now what I'll do is I'll kind of look at the information from my slides and kind of see, or from my worksheet. So I'm going to see what's similar first, because I want to get some things that are similar. I don't need 4 things. I just need to get a couple of them. So let's see. Well, let's see if I look at this, the population. It looks like the population's very different for them, right?
Sorry, Mr. T, we can't see it.
Oh, sorry. There. So if I look at the population, I see the population's very different. They have 21,000. They have 4,500. So it's it's not very close, I would say. Like maybe if this one had 45 and this one had like 6, that would be a little bit closer. I see that the time that they came to Wisconsin, very different. This is 10,000 years ago. This is in 1838. So that's 10,000 years difference, basically. Not very close. I see the religion. Okay, well, it looks like they have a Christian religion. They also have a Christian religion. So I'm going to go back over here, and I'm going to say, in the similarities, I'll put, I'm going to say that they both have a Christian religion. The Catholic is Christian, and there we go. Now I have something similar. Let's see what else we have. I see that they're clans. Anybody see any similarities? Anything similar about their clans here?
Wolf.
What's that?
Wolf.
Okay, we have wolf. They both have wolves, right? What else do they both have?
Bear.
They both have bear and wolf. And also we see that there's animals, right? Not all clans are animals necessarily, maybe. So let me go back to my compare and contrast sheet, and I'm going to put down animal clans. Both have bear and wolf clans. So that's similar. Now let's see. How about this? We have this one is they have, for their government, they have tribal leadership, executive, legislative, judicial branches. This one has a CEO, and they have a council. So, well, it looks like the government is a little bit different. And this one, I'd say for the people, we can't really compare the people necessarily, the famous people. That's not really something we can compare so easily. So we'll leave that one out. But I'm happy because I found like 3 things that are kind of similar between them. How about differences? We already noted some of the differences. What were some differences we saw?
Language.
The language is different. They have the Oneida, and they have Menominee and Algonquin. Algonquin. Okay. I'm going to just expand that just a touch. Okay. Any other differences we saw? Well, I saw this one had a small population, which was like 4,500. And this one was large population, which was like 20,000. Okay. We could also say only 3 clans. And this one we saw had 5 clans. And then we could say this one has government is a council, whereas this government has 3 branches: executive, legislative, and judicial. Okay. So hopefully we can see where I got this information from, how I'm looking at these and kind of comparing and contrasting, seeing what's similar, what's different. Oh, this one looks different too. I like this one. I'm going to put that on there too. You guys see this one? Anybody tell me what's different about this, the year that they came to Wisconsin? Anybody jump on the microphone and tell me what's different about those two?
Yeah,
Okay, tell me.
1,000.
10,000, yep.
Oh, 10,000.
It says 10,000 years ago, so before. 10,000 years before, and this one says in 1838. That's only like 100 years ago, right? Actually, less than 100. This is like, what, 82 years ago? No. I'm sorry. 90. No, 100. Sorry, my math is bad. 182 years, right? So we think about that 182 years ago versus 10,000 years ago. That's a big difference. We might say something here. I like this one. I'd say new to Wisconsin. Only we'll say 150 years, just round it off. And we'll put less than 150 years. Old tribe of Wisconsin.
Mr. T,
10,000 years.
this line.
Oh, I'm sorry. There you go. But again, I think that's a really important one to note, is that this one's new to Wisconsin, about less than 150 years, which is, for people, that's a very short time. And this one is an old tribe of Wisconsin, which is 10,000 years. I mean, that's a big, big, huge difference, right? I mean, let's just put this in perspective. You guys maybe, like, let's see, have you guys ever seen these before?
I do.
You've seen them, yeah? Those are old, right?
In the movie, yeah.
Right? Have anybody seen these before? They know how old these are? Right? Or maybe something like, maybe this makes more sense to us, something like this. Anybody know how old this is? Right? Are these old?
Yeah.
Pretty old, right? Well, if we think about how old these are, like, let's see, Angkor Wat, the age of Angkor Wat is 900 years old. So think about that. That's really old when we think about it. How about we think of, maybe we know, this might be more familiar to some of us too. Have we seen these before? Right? How old are these? Well, let's check. These are 800 years old, right? So these things are not very long ago. So when we think about the Menominee have been in Wisconsin for 10,000 years. So that means they're really, really old. The pyramids are 5,000 years old. So it's double the pyramids in Egypt. So that's a big one to me, how long they've been in Wisconsin. Okay, so now I've got this compare and contrast. I use my information from my sheet. You guys should have filled out your sheet. You can use your tribe with another tribe, or any two tribes you want. You just can't use my two tribes that I did, because I'm showing you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what I want you guys to do then is you'll fill that in. After you've done that, you'll come down here and write a paragraph. You'll notice I highlighted this blue and I highlighted this yellow to tell you, like, hey, my blues and my yellows, right? So the first part is going to be comparing. You're going to say what is similar. And then the second part, you're going to be explaining what's different. So you're explaining some things they both have, two ideas that both of them have, and two ideas that are different about them, and writing that in your paragraph. Okay?
Okay.
So if I were to write my paragraph, I might write something like this, and I would say, because it's blue, so I'm going to put the Oneida tribe is similar to the Menominee tribe because Both tribes. What did we say? What's something similar about them? Anybody tell me?
They have the same religion.
Yeah, both tribes. And I could say have a Christian religion now. And now I'm going to continue my frame. I'm going to go to this next part here. In addition, the two tribes, and now what else is similar about them?
The same.
What else is the same about them?
That they live in Wisconsin.
Well, we said that they all live in Wisconsin. We're looking at all the tribes in Wisconsin. So that's kind of, we don't want to do that. That's kind of cheating for what we're doing, right? We know they all live in Wisconsin. We're focusing on that. What about the things I wrote on my slide here? We said they both have a Christian religion. What else? How about one of these other ones?
Can you put it again, just like?
Yeah, I think I'm on the slides right now. So we can see in the green part right here, right? We can see that maybe we could say they both have animal clans or bear and wolf clans. I'll put that in there. Both tribes' clans are named for animals. Okay? So now that I have my first part, now I can go on to this second part here. Okay? I'm going to say the, again, blue is which one? Oneida or Menominee?
Oneida.
Oneida. So I'm going to say the Oneida tribe and the Menominee tribe are different because I'm going to say the Oneida tribe. And what's an area that's different? Somebody jump in, maybe Cheetah or Hector or Groven. What's something different about them? We have
The government.
okay. The Oneida tribe has a council government, good.
Yep.
And then I'm going to continue here, but the Menominee tribe, what? What did we say?
Branches.
Yeah. Yeah, they have 3 branches. Yep, has 3 branches. Period. Another area of contrast is, and what's the area? What are we going to talk about next? How about how long they've been in Wisconsin? Is how long the tribe has been in Wisconsin. When I look at that, I'm taking from the top of my chart, basically, the area of difference, right? Because the Oneida tribe has been in Wisconsin for 182 years, but the Menominee have been in Wisconsin for 10,000 years. I'm sorry. Tribe okay. So now I've written a compare and contrast paragraph where the first part is comparing 2 things and the second part is contrasting 2 things about them. Okay? So if you finished yours, you should have some of that information. Do you have any questions about how to do this for today? Again, I want to hear some microphones off and let me know if you have any questions, you need any help with what we're doing today.
It doesn't have to be like a lot of sentence, right?
Well, you're going to write, you can use the frame that I used right here. You can use your own frame if you want, but I want to see at least two, right? I need to see at least two things comparing and two things contrasting. Now, my paragraph frame that I gave you, that does that. It compares to and contrasts to, right?
Okay.
So if you use my paragraph frame, you can do it. If you want to try and write your own paragraph, I just want to see comparing two things and contrasting two things. Does that answer your question, Nali?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Any other questions about what you need to do for today? And just a reminder again for the folks who didn't get it done on Friday. So Nali, you can probably do yours about the Oneida and Ho-Chunk or Menominee and Ho-Chunk or one of the others. But for everybody else, if you didn't finish that, you need to record your video presenting for me and submit that. And you also need to make sure on your assignment right here that you've finished filling in. So this is like, because Nali, since she did her presentation, she's going to need to watch your presentations to finish those too. So we need to make sure that we get those done so other people can finish their worksheet, because if they don't have yours, they can't finish theirs. Right? So if I go to like Nali's assignment here, she should have, right now she has the Ho-Chunks filled in, and she should have, yep, she's got the 3 presentations that she was able to watch, and then later when you guys finish yours, she can watch for these others. And I'll delete these for you, Nali, because people didn't do those. Okay? Other questions? Let me hear you guys unmute. Tell me if you have any questions. Tell me if everything's clear or you need to practice a little more, you need some help. Right, Hector, Yalian, you there? Cheetah, Groven?